Half of these mythicals are total traps that could tank your team. So I'm ranking every single one, including the ones nobody dares to use. Let's find out which mythicals are actually worth your Master Ball. Okay, tier list time. Yeah, I definitely wanted to go through the, especially after doing a lot of the mythical, featuring these mythicals in off-meta mayhem, leading up to, well, it's casual ladder right now, but leading up to the Reg J official in-game Battle Stadium doubles ladder. I definitely wanted to do a little bit of a recap of my findings now that I've tried most of them. There are definitely some I didn't get to, and I'll even mention a couple that I tried and just couldn't do. But, and then my thoughts on some of them that we haven't done yet, and just based on what I've kind of seen around YouTube and stuff as well. But I guess we'll just dive into it. So if anybody's ever seen this before, we just kind of throw them in a high to low tier. So we're going to put the best ones that I think S will basically call it, like, will be relevant in Regulation J on like high ladder. I know that Regulation I will be mostly the dominating the meta, I guess. Especially you're going to see a lot of Worlds teams. You're going to see a lot of teams that we saw at Worlds, and you know, a little bit of cooking between the two. So I do think it'll be interesting. It'll be a lot of fun. It'll probably be one of the more dynamic formats we've ever seen, probably because like literally everything is available. So we're probably going to see some like major off-meta picks just as we see a meta kind of develop, which we'll kind of go over what I've seen so far as considered meta right now that we'll kind of dive into. But without further ado, we'll just kind of go in order here. So as you can see on the left, I do have a little bit of a guide of like the way I think these teams are run, and I'll also kind of talk about how they have kind of run and where they might find success. So I'll rate them high to low. So S will be, yes, you will see it. A, you'll probably see some. B, we're getting into like the off meta picks. C is going to be like, you must really like this Pokemon. And D is just like, yeah, don't. Like, just, I don't even know if I would go there kind of thing. So, but let's dive into it though. So I'm going to start with Arceus. So before I mention Arceus, I'm going to put it in S because this thing's base stat total alone will definitely make it relevant. This thing has higher base stats than anything in the game at 720. It has 120 every single stat. Base. So this thing can be as fast as Sneasler and as strong as, I guess, 120 or whatever it is. And the defenses are 120. Like 120 defense, 120 special defense, and 120 HP is actually insane. It's actually hard to believe that there is a Pokemon that's legal that's this. And you would think that with those stats, maybe the move pool's not great. No, it gets a lot of utility and a lot of offense, which we'll get into now. So I guess I'll kind of start off with like, this isn't a team. Obviously you can have three Arceus on the same team, but I just kind of threw duos on this one. If you've done any kind of laddering right now, whether or not it's on Showdown or I guess the casual ladder, which isn't really a ladder, it's just casual battles, I guess, for that matter. You've seen Arceus Chiampao, so a normal type extreme speed user right off the bat is just definitely worthwhile. Like a lot of people are running Choice Band, Terra Normal Extreme Speed with the Chiampao next to it with the Sword of Ruin. It's just automatically going to do a lot of damage. Obviously, you're not going to run that with this, so I'll just take the Choice Band off. I left the item off because it's kind of up to, you know, the user's kind of discretion. But just Extreme Speed and Swords Dance, like what I've been seeing a lot, like you can't even intimidate this thing unless you lead it, and then you just kind of maybe parting shot into it or something, but you know, it's definitely getting into counterplay stuff. But a Swords Dance on this thing is just so strong. I actually think Covert Cloak is probably one of the better items on it, or if you run Terror Ghost at your own risk because of all the Cali Shadow that are going around, like you're already a great counter to it to begin with, and you do get the Shadow Claw to hit that. So normal Ghosts basically hit everything. Like I don't even know what doesn't. Like there might be a couple, like obviously this set can't even touch a Farigiraf with the Psychic and Ghost. Sorry, Psychic and Normal, right? So you can't E-Speed with the Priority and then the Shadow Claw. So if you are going to do a team like this with leaning on the E-Speed, you're definitely going to want to have answers for Farigiraf, like maybe like a Weezing or something could be really cool because you don't really need the ability on it, especially when you're running this. So I can see Arceus next to a Weezing team that could be really good. And yeah, just Chiampao stuff. So you have Sucker Punch and Ice Spinner because there's a lot of terrain going on right now. And obviously the Focus Sash just makes it stick around a little bit longer. This set is no surprise to anyone. This has been around for quite a while. But Taunt, I feel like Taunt's been more like prominent right now. just because of all of the disruption that's kind of kicking around. So so these two, yeah, very, very strong. Like if you just put these two on a team and added 4 others, you're gonna have a solid team. But my recommendation would be have answers for the things that stop your E-speed. I think I ran into a quick guard today on ladder, on showdown, and that would definitely cause some problems, right? Because now you're stuck with a, I guess if you tear a ghost, Shadow Claw does become stab, but whatever. Yeah, and then so just SD. So I do think this is a really strong duo, but that's not the only way you can run Arceus, actually. You can run the plate version. I think I had the most fun with the fire one. I think that the fire Arceus with Judgment, with a base power of 100, and stab, and boosted by Flame Plate is just so strong. And then you just add the sun to it, and it could be Groudon. Like, this could be Groudon, it could be Torkoal, it could be whatever you run. If you wanted to run a different restricted or mythical, whatever it is, you can easily make that a Torkoal. Or even a Prankster Sunweather, Sunsetter as well. So I do think that could be really strong. And then again, we talked about this thing getting coverage, like fire, like what resists fire, other fire moves. So you can run Earth Power on it, which is there. Yeah, you can run Earth Power. You can run it next to the Groudon, which is really nice synergy, especially if this is a special one. We did feature these two on a video ourselves when we ran Arceus. But I do think that's very, very strong because like you're getting the Flame Plate boost at 1.2. You're getting the 100 power stab, and then you're getting the sun boost on it as well. That's just insane amounts of damage. Like it, yeah. So I do think that's good. I want to see how people get creative with other of the plates as well. I think like a poison one would be cool. And just have answers for size spam and whatever. But yeah, like I could see there's a lot of fun ones. I've seen like I think like people were calling it the wet one or something like that. The splash plate one. Like you could easily do the same thing with what's it called, the water Kyogre as well, but then you're having, because this is naturally a ground type, so it kind of is not just like you're not running fire, but in the Kyogre scenario you're running water. So and they're both special too. So I think Arceus does get a physical water move, Liquidation. Yeah, it gets Liquidation. It's not going to hit as hard as Judgment, but you get the idea, right? So get a little creative with these. And the last one, which unfortunately, Wolfie, I love you, but you have kind of ruined the game recently. Everybody just wants the Bear Trap all the time because you're so good at it. And unfortunately, Arceus does get Perish Song. So Gothitelle, Arceus, I didn't even put any moves on there. You just have to make sure Protect's on there. Fake Out definitely makes things last a little bit longer. And let me just delete the others right now so I can just kind of screw around with things that you would add. Another Fake Out user, like I think Incineroar is probably one of the better ones because you can Intimidate to reduce the damage. Another Fake Out user, you can do Parting Shot, or you can do U-Turn or Uproar, whatever. U-Turn, and then you're just like constantly cycling in and out and in and out. I actually saw in Gen 8, it was Gothorita as well with the Eviolite, which you could run as well. And the same thing, Fake Out, Protect, Trick Room, and then you can even run like Heal Pulse, which keeps things alive even longer. So yeah, like I do think that having pivoting moves is so nice too, because you can a lot of people think that against Perish Song, what you do is you just wait until the last turn then switch. But what you can do is you can actually have Incineroar on the field, like switch in the Incineroar, and then Fake Out with or Protect with the Gothitelle, or Fake Out, whatever it is. Now you can either Fake Out and then switch the Gothitelle, but that's too early. So what you can do is you can hard switch the Gothitelle and then U-Turn or Parting Shot at the same time and get Gothitelle on the field for the same turn without the Perish turns still affecting it. So I know Wolfie did that really well. Just watch out for Protects. But if anybody protects during their own Perish Song turns, you're playing with fire. Like, you can't really afford to protect when that's going on. So I do think that Parting Shot and U-Turn into your opponent is pretty safe. You can even do it to yourself if you really want to. Like, you just hard switch the Gothitelle into something like an Amoonguss or something, because Amoonguss is really strong on a team like this. Hard switch the Gothitelle out for an Amoonguss, and then U-Turn or Parting Shot your Amoonguss, and then just bring the Gothitelle back in for the Incin. That could be really good as well. But yeah, so that's enough about Perish Trap. So Arceus is really, really good. So we're going to put that in the S tier. But next, I want to get into Mew. Mew was a lot of fun. Where am I going to put Mew, actually? I feel like Mew, like, is probably, like, right in the middle. Because, like, is it good? It can be. Like, I feel like if you're not ready for an Imprison Transform set, you could be in a little bit of trouble. Because like, again, you could just lock out somebody's Miraidon. You could lock out like, and you can get really creative with the set too. You can even do Focus Sash. If your issue is Miraidon, you take an Electro Drift or whatever it might be. Or you can even do Terra Ground if that's the problem. And now you can just imprison it. It can't Volt Switch into you. Like, you protect with the partner, you imprison, and then you can just transform the next turn. Now it's just trapped. So you can mess around with some stuff. I like to personally run it with Tailwind and Trick Room as well. That way, like, if you do lead it or get it on the field and it can't transform into something, or you don't want to transform into something, you can just at least change the turn order for your partner if you want. And just kind of, just to turn everything on its head, it really changes things dynamically. But also Mew gets every single TM in the game, so that allows us to run a lot of different options for support. As you can see, Icy Wind Snarl is a nice staple. Just having those two on pretty much anything is just very, very solid. And then coaching and just knockoff. I think everything gets knockoff, but that's just a solid fourth move. But look what it gets. It gets everything. Like, you can run an offensive set, defensive set. Like, this is a draft league team's like heaven right here. This is whatever you want it to be. Whatever, if there's a quad weakness on the other team, just run a move. It gets everything. Like, even like Flare Blitz and stuff like that. Like, my goodness, like the high base power moves. Like, what are we looking at here? I think it's like Hurricane and stuff too. Draco Meteor, yo. Frenzy Plant, get at Blast Burn. Ooh. Actually, Super Fang's kind of neat too. Like, you could just run Super Fang and just, it's so bulky. We were talking about this on Arceus with 120, 120, 120. HP defense and special defense at 120. Like, that's really good. Like, that's better than Incineroar. That's better than a Moongus. Like, a Moongus has higher HP, but still, the defensive stats are just better. Yeah, so you could run it pretty much every single support. Like, just search your status moves, and it gets so much. Like, Haze, Fake Tears, blah, 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 blah. And then you could also set up... Obviously, this isn't a single set, but this is just a bunch of different setup moves. Dragon Dance is just really solid. You get your +1 speed because 100 just isn't quite there in a meta like this. But after a Dragon Dance, you outspeed everything now. You outspeed all your Miraidons, your Koraidons, the Flutter Mains, all that stuff, all the super fast stuff. One D-Dance with like a Terra Normal or something like that. Now this is a counter to your Kali Shadow and things like that. Like, you can run Shadow Ball or Knockoff like we had before, like D-Dance with Knockoff. Like, that's really strong. But yeah, so what do we have there? Swords Dance? No, we had Nasty Plot, I think, right? Yeah, so, and then Nasty Plot is there as well. Just, it's really whatever you want it to be. And Calm Mind is just really nice, but I feel like so many things get Calm Mind. Basically, just pick the coverage you need, pick the move that supports it, and then throw Protect in the 4th slot and possibly a Leftovers or a Citrus Berry. And now this thing is really nice. And because you're running these boosting moves, you can run a little bit more bulk. You can run like 192, and then you run a little bit of bulk as well. You know, you got your attack, say you want to go for your Dragon Dance set, just throwing this out there. So let me just get the calculator out here. So we got Kali Shadow gets to 222. So you need to get to 148. So 148, where is it? Does that get to exactly 222? Yeah, so we need to go one higher. So 149, and then you could just get to a bump. Where is it? 41, 3. So you can get to that one if you want, but let's pick an even number because it is +1. So 150. Oh, let's drop this a little bit. 150. Did I get it? Yeah, 154 is the next bump. And then you could just run 190. Yeah, we're a little shy for the Leftovers recovery, so we can go down to 176 if we want to. And then we could just throw it in the defenses if we really want to. And now your Dragon Dance set is actually looking really strong. Like, you can run Knockoff, like I said, or you can run and then Close Combat or something. Like that's a pretty wicked set. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you can just kind of snowball really quickly. But the thing is, all I know is that if you're in a team preview and you see a Mew, just start protecting. I know Transform goes through Protect, so that's really tough. Like, it's almost like you have to just fake it out and hope for the best. Just don't run into a Mew. Like, that might be the only advantage that Mew has in a format like this, is you just don't know what it's going to be. You have no idea, because it's like running a Smeargle. Like, it could be anything, but at least you're not worried about the offense with Smeargle. This, you have to worry about at least average offense or above average. So that's enough about Mew. So we have it in the middle just because we don't really know what it's going to do. We don't really know where it's going to be. Jirachi, okay, this one is tough for me to actually talk about because I really tried hard to make a Jirachi team, and this is the set that this isn't the one that I made. This is the one that was actually being used on ladder with the choice scarf and just going for flinches and stuff like that. What I was trying to do is I was trying to run the T-Wave on something else, and then I was going to get Iron Head, so I basically got Jirachi to 111 or 112, whatever, which outspeeds all that. But I think I even got it to like creep Deoxys speed, not speed, but Deoxys attack or something like that, so which is 150. Or is it the same? I don't really remember. I can't think. I think it's 222 is the benchmark, or 223. So, but the problem is like I ran it with Grimmsnarl with T-Wave, and I was running into like Miraidons. I was running into Iron Hands, Dark types like crazy, Psychic Terrain. I just could not get T-Waves off. And I didn't even think to run it with like a non-prankster T-Wave user, which would have actually been better and it might have done really well. But I do feel like once this thing got going, when I was testing it originally, this thing was so good. And with Shaymin Sky, Air Slash with Serene Grace, and then Jirachi with Iron Head, they were never taking a turn. It was actually so nice. It was so much fun when it was working. But like when I was facing all these like super solid teams, I could not win. I think I actually hit record once and I just couldn't win a game. It was actually so depressing. So I'm going to put Jirachi in the C tier because is there a universe where it could work? Yes. I couldn't figure it out. I would like to take another shot at it, but I don't think this is the last we've seen of Jirachi. But unfortunately, with all of the Kali Shadow going around, it's just so hard to put a Psychic type on your team unless it's like doing more. So I don't know. Jirachi, you might have another shot, but I don't know how this Choice Scarf set was going. I think that's a +1 was actually the one that made it. Yeah. And Shaymin Sky. I guess we could do Shaymin while we're here as well. The nice part about this thing is it just walls Rillaboom. Like, Rillaboom can't even touch this thing, especially if you put like Overcloak on there. Or you could just run Terra Ghost or something. I think mine was Terra Ghost, and then I was running like, well, what item was I running on? Maybe Life Orb or something. Because the Seed Flare was just so good. 120 power. It was just so nice. And then you had like the special defense drop, which was 80% chance or something like that, because it doubles. Yeah, it doubles. So an 80% chance to drop, like it's basically a 120 power move, but it's like an acid spray. So your next attack just does more. And it allows you to find kind of where the Covert Cloak is because you're not going to get that secondary effect. The Tailwind was really nice, catching people on protects and switches. So like if I got this thing on the field with Rillaboom, say something went down and then I got it on the field, a lot of the times I was able to get a Tailwind up. And that's just really, really nice, is like just getting a free Tailwind up, and Rillaboom team being as prominent as it is. It is really, really nice to have a nice check. So Shaymin, again, I feel like there is a place for Shaymin as well. It's just, I might have to revisit it. Yeah, it's just, these things are so hard. I think I mentioned in a couple past videos, it's really hard to kind of, with the base stat total just not being there. They're all 600, right? And like Dragonite 600. Like, and it's a Dragonite with a better ability, better moves. Yeah, it's just, yeah, apples and oranges, I guess, but it's really hard to make these things work. So the lower base stat totals or like the really, really niche picks are probably going to stay in C. The B, you'll probably see more, you know, than that. A, you'll start seeing they're pretty good, and then S, we're just going to kind of have maybe like this and one more or something. But Shaymin base form, I just don't really know. 1 second. Shaymin base form. It's just straight 100s. Yeah, the ability is just garbage. Like having to switch out. Like maybe you could see something like this against Darkrai. Say you get put to sleep, you could just switch out, but then switch in something that's faster, because I don't think he's Dark Voiding into something that's already sleeping. So maybe with Natural Cure it could be a thing. But again, the move pool that we were looking at, because it has the same move pool, just isn't quite there. And then Shaymin with just base 100 stats. Like, there's so many other grass types you'd rather run. At least this has a flying type, so who knows, right? But I would probably say no. Shaymin I'd probably put in the D tier because you're never using it over the Sky version. So, you know, prove me wrong, somebody. But that's where we'll put that one for now. Deoxys. This is the scariest set that's really out there. This is really the only relevant one I've seen. I know we featured a rental code for something like this. I had one with Terra Blast. I just couldn't build the team because I didn't have a rental slot available. I try to keep the rental codes up as long as possible for you guys, just so you can try the teams just as we go. Say you run into this video in a month and the rental code's just gone, so that's just not fair. So just because you're late to the party. But this, if you're not ready for this, this will destroy you. Deoxys attack, Expanding Force, Terra Psychic with a Helping Hand, wipes the field. I don't know what can survive that. I think we KO'd a Gothitelle with it. Like, it's really strong. Like, this thing gets 180 a special attack. Like, that's bananas. And a nice little thing, too, actually. Pressure. Okay, so Sucker Punch and Thunderclap have very little PP. So if you're targeted with this thing and you're protecting and like you got Psychic Terrain up, say you switch it in and he just doesn't get it off or something, like you could PP stall this thing pretty nicely. Not with these defenses, but Focus Sash does have to be the item. I don't know how you can run any other item on this thing. It is just, there's no point of bulking this thing out at all. Like, I know base, like 200 special attack and attack, like the actual stat, not the base, is the same as something with 130 base, and you max it and boost the nature. So by not putting a single point in this thing, it's already at 130 base with max and a boosting nature. That's so strong naturally, but like we get 157. That's usually what we start with before we add any EVs. And then 20, don't even bother. Like, this is just Kartana. Like, don't even try bulking this thing out. Like, maybe you can use like Deoxys base. Like you have like 50-50-50. Okay, fine. Like, your damage output goes down a bit, but at least now like the HP stats there. But we can start getting up to 100 in the defenses, you know, and your special attack's still at least like relevant. It's just, I don't know. Like, I feel like if you're going to use Deoxys, just go for the attack one and just throw a Focus Sash on there. Like, I don't, maybe Redirection, but then any spread just obliterates you. Just run Focus Sash and move on, everybody. So where are we going to put this? I'm going to put this in A, actually, because I do think that this is just, wait, which one do we do? No, that's the base one. Which one is that's a speed, that's a defense. I guess that has to be the attacking one, right? Is it? Now I'm confused. One second. Attack. Yeah, that's right. I think that's right. So that one is definitely going to be A tier. I don't think it's quite S because, like, I feel if you know how to play it, then you can kind of answer it pretty easily. Just have your terrain control in the team. We'll probably do another team building video on like what you need to build against and stuff, knowing your meta and what to counter, just so you kind of have answers for everything, or most things for that matter. Yeah, so the base form, I guess we can put in C because you probably just won't see it over A, but it is usable. Defense, you'll never see it. I'm sorry. If you're ever gonna see this thing, it's because somebody's trying to meme out. Like, okay, fine. Like, its defenses are pretty high. Like, I guess, like what are we looking at? 160? Yeah. But it's just the HP stats so low, right? Like, you have to start with this, and then your defenses are pretty high, but I don't know. I feel like there's just so many other ones. Like, I'd rather run, like, a Dusclops than that, you know? Like, Dusclops, and then you run the Eviolite. It's just stronger, right? Like, or it does it better, right? And they're both weak to Kali Shadow. Unfortunately, you have to ask that question when you're building teams all the time now. So I guess that's it for Deoxys. We got them there. And then the speed one, do I want to put it in C or D? Because, like, it just has no offense, right? Like 90? 95? I guess. Wait, his defenses are 90? That's not bad. Hold on a second. You know what? I'm going to put that in C. Just because I feel like if you go like this, and then you, like, this thing's already super fast to begin with. Like, I guess you go timid. Or timid, I guess. Now you're at 220. So if you just go like that, you're faster than Kali Shadow. You throw, like... Does it get Electro Web on there? Honestly, hey. Run this beside a Jirachi. Thunder Wave. There you go. Super cool. Yeah, so I guess a C tier. Like, you could run it. I don't want to, like, insult it by in D tier, because it's definitely more usable than these guys, so. Manaphy. I guess we'll get into Manaphy now. I had a few ideas for Manaphy, but this is a really good one. Tail Glow and Baton Pass, and also being able to use. So just in case you didn't know, Tail Glow is a +3 to your special attack. One of the few times you'll actually see in the game where it says a stat increase drastically is when it's a +3. So, and this thing with +3, like +3 is a 2.5 boost. Yeah, so 2.152. So if you just kind of max it out, 152 times 2.5, you're at 380. So one Tail Glow with these defenses, like, this is pretty good. And then Scald, like, Scald isn't on anything anymore. Does it get Muddy Water? I think it does. No, it doesn't. Wow. Okay. Yeah, so basically, and then if you really want, you can just baton pass it over to something else. I know that Kyogre was really nice, so Hydration. Again, just being status, like against a Moongus and stuff like that. You don't have to run Safety Goggles or Defensive Terra again on this thing. You could just run Hydration and then have the Rain Up, so that way, like, your status at the end of every turn is just healed, and then you're never asleep. So unless they go first, and then it's just you can't go. He has to keep resetting it, but at least you're healed most turns, right? So I do think that'd be really cool. Also, Rest would be really neat, because Rest does work. Wait, does it get Rest? Yes, it does. Okay. Yeah, Rest does work. So Rest will heal you fully. So say they whittle you down, whittle you down, whittle you down, and then you just rest, and then you have the Rain Up, you just heal immediately. It's like 100% recover, or what's the other one? Like Roost or something like that, right? So, and you have more PP on it, I think, right? No, you have the same 8. They really didn't want us to heal, did they? Yeah, and you can always set it with Kyogre or Pelipper, just depending on which option you want. Pelipper might work better just because, again, you can have the restricted on something else, because you only get one more. I just can't justify running it, you know, on a team when you could run like Zamazenta or something. Like, again, the stats just aren't there. 600 when you can get to 680, it's just so difficult to do. So we'll put Manaphy, I guess, in B, I guess, because it's kind of niche. Like, I think it's better than these. It's more usable than these, I think. You know, we could just put it... Nah, I'm going to put Deoxys there. Because, again, you're just not going to use it over this, right? So Manaphy, I think, is a niche pick. So you could probably put it in B just because it does what other things can't. Fion, D. Sorry. When I found out it wasn't technically an evolution or a pre-evo of Manaphy, I was like, oh, can't even run Eviolite later. Like, as much as I would love to run it, it's just... no, I'm sorry. I cook, but that's something. That's Hell's Kitchen or something. I hate to do this. I really do. Darkrai, I'm going to put it in S tier. I don't want to. It's just, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. How could I not put this in S tier as viable when everyone's using it? Like, I don't personally like it, but I don't know. Like, if you have the right player just putting things to sleep, like, I do feel that the team that you run it on, like, I know that a lot of people are running it with Sableye. I think Cali Shadow with Gravity is just the best for it, because now you have the switch in for the Cali Shadow, so you can bring Darkrai in the back, set up a late game Gravity or whatever it might be. Dark Void in, I think it's like, if you have, I think it's a 77% chance or something to hit both Dark Voids, or to hit both of them. So it's just, everything just goes to sleep. They will miss from time to time. But yeah, you've got the Gravity, you've got the Astro Barrage. The nice part is against Dark Void, Wide Guard does work. So if you're hating it, Wide Guard does work. And also Groudon running Precipice Blades. Wide Guard against this team would be just amazing. So I'm actually trying to cook up some ideas of how to stop a team like this, because it's just so strong. Like, if you sit back and try to handle the sleep stuff, Cali Shadow is just snowballing and just going way out of its way to just obliterate you. So obviously you can't run Groudon, Calyrex, and Darkrai. Like, I think the teams I've seen have been Groudon, Sableye, Darkrai, and then I've seen Darkrai with the Cali Shadow as well. I just put Sludge Bomb on there because one of the things is Terra Fairy that, you know, can deal with Darkrai, so Sludge Bomb at least has an answer for it. A couple of Darkrai I've seen kicking around with Safety Goggles, because I know that like a Sun boosted Sleep Powder can deal with it. That would definitely help. But it's usually Focus Sash and Terra Ghost. That's pretty much the one I've seen. And then this last move here is just kind of whatever. I've seen Focus Blast. Where is it? Yeah, I've seen Focus Blast. I don't think I've seen, maybe Knockoff. Did I see that? I don't remember. I doubt Shadow Ball. What else? Will-O-Wisp would be interesting, but it's kind of anti-synergistic. I've seen Dream Eater, which is hilarious. Yeah, so pretty much just the whole idea is to put it to sleep and then set up your Groudon. That's basically the whole concept of this team, but I would have to put it S. I don't like it, everybody, but unfortunately it is here, and now people found a way to kind of get this thing going since they lowered the accuracy. So Yeah, so I guess we'll put it in S. I'm not happy about it, but moving on. Moving on to Keldeo. Oh my goodness, Keldeo. So Secret Sword Keldeo, I don't know how it works. I know that Keldeo, if you have it, I think it's the Resolute version. There's no difference at all. It's just aesthetically. Like there's really, like it just changes the way it looks. Like I don't, and Justified. Like this thing's a special attacker, and like there's already another water fighting Pokemon that's pretty hella good right now. I won't mention who it is, but you know, could be something that rhymes with Blurshifu, Vapid Blake. I don't know. It rhymes with that. Anyway, Keldeo is a thing. I guess Justified. I think I saw somebody run a beat up version of it and then just run like Liquidation or something. I don't remember what the physical moves were on it. Like it does get close combat, and if you can get a +4, okay, that would be pretty strong, but why not just run like Terrakion or or something else, you know what I mean? Like this thing's attack is lower than Virizion, and nobody wants to run Virizion or even Cobalion, right? It's always Terrakion. So but as for this set, I think it's just more so you run Secret Sword. It is a little stronger. It hits on the defensive side rather than the Spit F, so that's kind of unique, I guess. So it's kind of like a physical move, but running off of your special attack. Justified doesn't help it. It's not even an immunity to Dark. You know what I mean? It's just you get an attack boost. Like, okay, cool. So now Foul Play does more things. But yeah, I have to put this in D. I'm sorry. This thing is just not usable. Like, I'm sorry. Like, again, memeing out if you, that's the only reason you would ever use it. So, and I guess we'll just put the other one there. I don't know. Not in game, whatever. This is the only one. Unless, whatever. Let's just put the base form because we'll be like that. Imagine if Meloetta was in this game with Terra. Oh. Anyway. Okay, so then we got Meloetta. So, Meloetta, I tried theory crafting with this, and I couldn't really bring myself to doing it. It was another one of those. It doesn't have the base stats. It does have the normal typing, which is really nice. So I do think that this thing could find its way on teams. So I might actually just put this in C tier, because I don't know why you would use it over Farigiraf, I guess, but it does have the special attack to kind of back it up. Like, it has a decent special attack, a normal type move. Don't use Relic Song, by the way, unfortunately. Like, it transforms you into the Pirouette form, and the Pirouette form is a physical attacker, and unfortunately, if you have Relic Song on there as a special move, it doesn't change into a physical move, so it's not like you're going back and forth. So your next move will just do a lot less. So I'm trying to think of a situation where you would want to change your type from Psychic to Fighting. I don't really know. Maybe if you're like a Dark move coming, you could just strategically use Relic Song and then take a resisted Dark move with Meloetta and then just start attacking. I don't know how you can run this thing as a mixed attacker. Like maybe you run Hyper Voice, Relic Song, and then you run Close Combat or something. Like, I don't know. And then it's now a mixed attacker. Like, I don't know, Serene Grace too. I think I was looking around to see if like 10% chance to sleep. So I guess 20 with Serene Grace. So that is a thing, but it doesn't really even get secondary effects, like moves with secondary effects. Like you get like Energy Ball. Okay, cool. You know, Ice Punch. Like, all right, I guess play like, but again, it's just very niche. Like I just can't really, like it's probably right there. Like I tried, but I just couldn't really get it to work. So I'll probably put it with the other failures here that I just couldn't get to work. But yeah, I did see there was actually a really cool strategy I saw. It was actually Cisco Moo. Check out his channel. I think I've recommended it before. I used a couple of his teams. But he actually tried to skill swap the Punk Rock onto Meloetta. So it got the, what is it? Basically the free Life Orb boost. So if you run it with Life Orb and then you skill swap the Toxtricity, you can do a lot more damage with your, what's it called? Your sound-based moves, which would be really cool, but then your Toxtricity isn't doing anything after that. So, just because this thing really needs stability, 114 just is not going to do it. But that was kind of cute. I thought that was a neat strategy, really creative. So, building his own teams and just kind of coming up with cooked strategies like that is really neat. And I think I just threw this on here as well. It does get Parasong. So if you ever wanted to do something like that, the weird thing is that it's a normal type, so you can switch it in on ghost types. But if you Parasong and you trap it, ghost types you can just switch out anyway. So it's it's kind of maybe, I can see it maybe showing up just to kind of throw people off guard or something. So, but I guess we'll move on to the next team for now. So we already got Meloetta in there, and I guess we'll just put that one there beside it. Why not? Next we have Diancie. I'm going to put Diancie in A. This might be a hot take. I had so much fun with this thing. And like, I'm not saying you can run every set on this thing, but look at his defenses. You just max the HP and then you just throw some defenses in. And not to mention, its Diamond Storm can give it a +2 in defense. You can do a 100 power spread move rock and get an iron defense boost in the same turn. Like, my goodness. You just 222 special defense if you just max it and then you start body pressing. Check out the this is like a selfish plug here. Check out the Diancie video. If you made it this far, take a break from this. Check out the Diancie video that was made. That set is insanity. Diamond Storm is so good. I ran it next to Coaching and Howl and stuff like that just so Diamond Storm can get stronger. But like body press is so strong. It's so strong. I think I got to +5 in one game in defense. Like, and Trick Room, and its typing isn't bad, and you just have Terra Water to just get around everything else. Like, I would totally recommend to a friend and do again. This Diancie was very, very cool. I did put a couple other sets on here as well to look at, just in case you wanted to try your own version of it. Meteor Beam Stab with 100 special attack is pretty good. I know people are running Meteor Beam on Lunala and things like that and other non-rock types. Diancie is a rock type. That 50% boost from Stab is so strong. Like Meteor Beam with Stab Rock, and then you've got the +1 after that for your D-Gleams, your spread D-Gleams. Like, this thing is insanely good if you did that and then just run like a defensive Terra. I'm trying to think what it would be. Probably Water. Like, maybe Dragon or something like that. That'd be kind of neat to get around the Water and the Grass against Rillabooms and stuff like that, depending on your team. But yeah, I do think that a set like this would be really cool. And then the actual Iron Defense Body Press set. So I just think that you can naturally get defense stats from Diamond Storm rather than just clicking Iron Defense. You're probably just taunt fodder anyway. So I would just click Diamond Storm. If they're going to taunt you, so what? I'm just going to Diamond Storm and get it anyway. Leftovers or some kind of healing I just think is really nice. Like, I can see like Mental Herb or Covert Cloak or something as an option, but I just think like staying alive could be really, really nice. But yeah, so Diancie, I'm going to put in the A tier. I don't care what anybody says. I think it's just really good. Next is Hoopa. Again, I tried with Hoopa. Do I just put it with the other failures? Like, I built a Hoopa team and I was trying it. My first idea was Grassy Seed next to Rillaboom. But I think the set that was going around was Electric Seed with Miraidon. And this thing has stats for days. Like, this, one of the few Mythicals that actually do have the stats that you can make work. I think it's like 680 or something. Look at that special attack. Like, this thing should be honestly right next to Deoxys, but I don't think it is. Just, I don't know why. I really don't. Is it the speed? It's probably the speed, because like this thing just isn't there, and it's got a quad weakness. So I guess you could run it Focus Sash as well. Like, watch out for U-turns. It is quad super effective, and that defense stat, yikes. I think a lot of people were kind of had the same idea, is you run it with like the Electric Seed or the Grassy Seed, and then now you have no item in Magician. If you can, like, you can steal an item, and that could really mess up the other team with Magician. Like, you don't see a lot of Magician interactions. I think the other Pokemon is Delphox that gets it. So there are some interesting Magician scenarios that can come up, especially if you consume your own item right away. So Hyperspace Fury, Hyperspace Hole goes through Protect, and it breaks it. That's the other thing too. So if you have Trick Room up, say you have, I'm trying to think of a Trick Room set, or maybe P2 or something, you break the Protect, and now the partner can just start attacking as well. So breaking Protect is really nice, because a lot of the times if Trick Room goes up, people just want to protect out of it and pivot and things like that. So if you just keep attacking, and you don't have to use Feint to break the Protect, you just attack, that could be very strong. And with 160 attack and 170 special defense, and there's a special one if you have a special set, and there's a physical one if you have a physical set. I think the dark one's probably a little bit better. Maybe run it with like Clear Amulet or something, but unfortunately, like Incineroar just kind of makes this thing have a hard time. So, and again, I have the Miraidon and the Rillaboom here, just in case you wanted to run the Grassy Seed or the Electric Seed, depending on what team you wanted to run. I think they both work. And then you have the Indeedee as well for the Expanding Force stuff. So this thing wants terrain around it. If you build a Hoopa team and you don't have any terrain on it, you got to redo the team. I think it's just way too good with terrain and however you want to try it, right? So, and those stats are just so good. Like this thing could just wall things. Like I can even see a Terra Normal as well. Like you want to beat Cali Shadow, just go Terra Normal. This thing can't touch it. Like 130 special defense with a little bit of investment in HP or something. Like that's pretty good. So, anywho, but base form Hoopa, I just don't see it. I think I was asking somebody in a Discord call earlier today. It was just like, what universe would you ever use base form Hoopa over Unbound? And I think the only difference was difference of 10 speed. If you guys look 80 and 70, I just don't think there's any reason to run Hoopa. Like, is 70 base speed really that impactful that you're just like, I need to lose all these base stats and the offense? And I don't see it. And also look at the design. It's just awesome. Like, if you've ever seen this thing follow you around in game, have a look. It's massive. It's like bigger than Groudon. It's insane. So another reason to run it is its sprite. So I'm going to put Hoopa A or B. I think because it's slightly worse than Deoxys, I'm going to put it in B. Because I think you could see it. I just don't think you're going to. And then I'm going to put the Hoopa down here. It's just not going to get used. I'm sorry. Again, meme teams down here. Maybe this is just where we live in the next month or so with like when we get bored of teams and stuff. We'll just start running Hoopa and Fiona and stuff like that. That'd be kind of fun. Comment down below if you want me to run one of this crap, one of these garbage things. If you love them, I'm sorry. They're not garbage aesthetically. They're garbage competitively. If you can make it work, prove me wrong. Beautiful. Volcanion. Volcanion is a Pokemon that I think it has like the stats in the right places. This thing would love Assault Vest. I just think that it's got 130 special attack, which is enough. It's got bulk kind of where it needs to be. I think the very first Volcanion set I ever ran was, again, like a Grassy Seed set, and you ran it with Rillaboom. And then you can start body pressing or going for the Heat Waves or Steam Eruptions. I think these three moves could be really nice if you can get the +1 defense. But also, I think Assault Vest is just really nice as well. Like, you could just run the moves you want. You can run single target Flamethrower if you want to, or even Overheat. Solar Beam I just have on there just in case you want to run it on like a Koraidon team. But this thing is literally a direct counter to Kyogre. Like, you could just take the Origin Pulses or the Water Spout, just all you want. So with Water Absorb, it's just so nice. Just watch out for the Thunder. So maybe just a defensive Terra. Maybe you can go like Electric or something, or Dragon. I think Dragon could be really nice. But yeah, I just think this thing is just, it's good. But again, you have to ask yourself, whenever you're building a team with these Pokemon, you always have to ask yourself, is this worth more than running one of the other restricteds? Most of the time, the answer is no. It depends what you're going for, because the correct way to build a team is the way you want to build a team. The most fun that you're going to have is the proper way to build your team. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Like, if you want to have fun and you're okay with like losing half the games or winning half the games, but you're having a great time, do it. Run Fion, run Keldeo, things like that. And you have the most amount of fun playing this game, because that's what the whole idea is. We don't want to get caught in competitive only and just like getting all stressed when, you know, when you're losing games and you're trying to do stuff like that. Like I think I used to golf a lot, and one of the things that I used to love golf in the beginning, and then I wanted to take it seriously one summer, so I went out to the range and stuff like that all the time. And you know what I found is, like, my standards went up for myself, like my expectations went up, and I just started hating it more. I started getting angry and stuff like that, more upset when I was playing. So I just started taking it lighter, and I'm having a lot more fun on the golf course now. So do that with Pokemon as well. Have a lot more fun with it. Build the teams you want to do. And if you want to go for, you know, meta stuff, that's fun too. If that's what you want to do, go for it. So that's enough for my TED Talk. Volcanion can be used. Very difficult to make it work, but I do think it finds its place in the C tier. Because I obviously it's not D, it's not garbage. You could make it work on the right team, because it is a direct counter to, say, Kyogre. Say you built a perfect 5 Pokemon team, and you're like, you know what do we put on this team that could just... Kyogre's the biggest problem for this team for whatever reason. We can put on Volcanion, and it might just be that piece that you need. So I'll let you guys figure that out for yourself. So let's go on to the next one. So Magearna. I think Magearna just kind of has to go in S tier. Let's put this one down here. It's just a duplicate. I think these three probably belong in S tier, just because I know that we just featured a team the other day with Magearna, but this team is just so good. Like Magearna with the Annihilate, getting a +2, you set the Trick Room. Now Trick Room's up, you get a free switch into your other sweeper. Sometimes it's Groudon, sometimes it's Ursaluna, things like that. And now you can get +2 D-Gleams off, and then now you have your also partner set up as well to just doing massive amounts of damage. Usually it's a ground type, because if you just D-Gleam spam and then you have ground, there's not every single thing that resists fairy is weak to ground. So what do you have? Poison, weak to ground. Steel, weak to ground. Fire, weak to ground. So if you pair this thing with a ground type in Trick Room or not in Trick Room, it doesn't really matter. I think it just does better in Trick Room if you can get it up. Yeah, so it's just so strong getting this thing to +2. I also think on the team that I ran, you don't really need to sacrifice your own Pokemon. Like, I also put another way of sacrificing your own Pokemon. Whimsicott can run Memento. You can set Trick Room, just drop the stats by 2 and kill yourself. And now you get the +1 on Magearna, and you're kind of set up kind of half the way Annihilate is. But I also feel like that's pretty expensive. And Indeedee as well. So you can go like Follow Me, Trick Room, and then the next turn you just start, you go for like Protect, and then you go for Healing Wish. KO yourself. Now you're getting a +1 and then a free switch as well. So I remember Healing Wish was really big on some teams. During like Regulation H and F and G and stuff like that, just because like you set Trick Room with your passive lead, and then now your opponent's just like, I'm just going to protect, I'm not going to attack you, and I'm going to make you switch on me. You just go for Healing Wish, just KO yourself, and then you get a free pivot. So you can do the same thing here, and your Magearna gets a boost. So it's almost like you sacrifice yourself, protect the Magearna, sacrifice yourself, and then you get a +1 and then a free switch in. So you burn 1 turn of Trick Room to get set up nicely. That might be worth it to you. And yeah, Annihilate is just really good. I feel like you don't have to blow up. I don't think I've seen a lead with Annihilate and Magearna where they didn't Final Gambit. There's no greater feeling than using a priority move into Annihilate or a faster Choice Scarf mod. Like, I think I had Choice Scarf. What was it? No, I had Miraidon next to Iron Treads with the speed boost. And I was just able to hit this thing, and it couldn't Final Gambit, so I was laughing. So, pretty funny. And then he brings in Groudon, and I'm not laughing anymore after that point. So yeah, so this is probably one of the stronger teams out there that you kind of see. Arceus teams, Darkrai teams, and Magearna teams are the 3 strongest teams you're really going to see out there right now. So I'm just going to kind of put that casually in S. Comment down below if you disagree with anything on this tier list. Again, I use 80% of these, and if I didn't use it on camera, I used it privately, and this is kind of my thoughts on it. I'm not getting the names wrong anymore, as I was in the beginning of the format, as you may notice, so that might be why I might know a little bit about this now. What else? We've got Zarude, so I'm going to give away my secrets. So up here you see the Darkrai team with Dark Void and the Gravity and fun stuff like that with Cali Shadow. I was saying Cali Shadow is probably the better version of it. You know what beats both of those things? Sun boosted Leaf Guard Zarude. Yeah, I said it. Okay, I have never used Leaf Guard in my entire life. I've always laughed when I see it on Leafeon and stuff like that. I'm like, no one's ever going to use that. Well, guess what? We have a use for it finally. I threw Jungle Healing on there because it's just another way of using Cresselia's Lunar Blessing, and it just heals the statuses, things like that. So this thing could even switch in on something that's already sleeping, on like beside it, and then jungle healing, and now it's healed. So, and it can't be put to sleep. So this thing, if you really hate that strategy, run Zarude in Sun, and you can run it with Groudon, Torkoal, Koraidon, things like that. And I do think that could be very good. I don't think teams can have enough Cali Shadow counters. I don't think Cali Shadow can even touch this thing, because they're running Psychic and they're running Astro Barrage. So, and if they go Terra Dark, you have Close Combat. If they don't, you have Knockoff. I think this thing could be really good. I might do a team with it just because it's fun, and I don't think I've seen a single Zarude on ladder. So maybe we'll try it ourselves. And I don't even think anybody's used this thing since it came out in Sword and Shield. So give it a try. I want to see your rental teams. I want to see your pace. If you guys use this thing and it works, tell me, I may use it. Because I hate losing to this strategy. I hate it so much. Dark Void, like, ugh. Anyway. So, that is Zarude. You can pair it next to Koraidon, Torkoal, Groudon, and I also mentioned you could put it there with Rillaboom as well, and you could double Grassy Glide if you really wanted to. Like, you want to talk about another counter? Like, you have the Magearna and the Annihilate. You know what gets around the Final Gambit stuff? Double Grassy Glide. Can't fake it out. Just do a little bit of chip to it. And yes, Trick Room is probably going to go up, gets its +1, but you're not dead. So, I do think Focus Sash is the option here. It has too many weaknesses. Grass Dark is not the best defensive typing at all. It is nice because not all weaknesses are created equal. Like a grass, it resists so many nice things. Like water resist, there aren't many of them. Ground, there aren't many of them. So that is nice. And Dark resists the Ghost. There's not a lot of Ghost resist. Psychic, which is Psy Spam, this is great for it. And Stab Knockoff is just so strong. So you have to do the trade-off for, yes, I think it has 7 weaknesses. Let me see if I can name them now. Fire, Ice, Fighting, Bug. Holy crap, Bug. Yes. Fairy. Flying, that's 6. And Poison. So it is 7. Crazy. I'm so good. Yeah, so just watch out for U-turns. I think that's why you need Focus Sash on this thing. But yeah, run it the way you want. If you want to try this thing, try it. I think it's pretty cool. And with Focus Sash, you just do this. Yeah. Or you, what does Adamant hit? Adamant gets to 157. Not enough. Sorry. You can't speed tie Landorus, Jolly Landorus. It's just not around. So yeah, I would go for Jolly and then maybe drop it a little bit. But why? Your Sash. Who cares, right? You can run negative nature if you want. So that's that team. And so where are we going to put it? I'm going to put it in C just because I think it's funny. I think so, it's not garbage. Like, it's not unusable. It's just, it's kind of niche. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it does different things than Brute Bonnet. Defends against Brute Bonnet. Can't be Sucker Punch. Can't be, well, it can be Sucker Punch just for very little damage. Can't be Spored. And if your partner gets Spored, you heal it with Jungle Healing. So, that's a thing. So, and let's just put this down here because, again, it's just a double. And then Pecharunt. So, if you are like me, and you like to watch the world burn like Elmo, this thing, I'm gonna put this in B. I know it's bold. This thing has 160 defense. This thing is a wall. This thing literally counters Cali Ice pre-boost. So, Malignant Chain, Poison Gas, I believe it or not, like, I've seen more Poison Gas variants than I've seen Malignant Chain. I don't know why people don't want to do 100 power damage with the chance of poisoning. Like, with the badly poison, so the toxic poison. I guess maybe people want confusion. I don't know if people realize that the rate has changed. Like, the confusion, herd in confusion has actually gone down. So, I guess spread confusion is pretty good. I know that the Hatterene, the max Hatterene move, I forget what it is. G-Max. I can't think of it right now, but it confused everything and it was really annoying. But hey, you can run this on your Zarude team in the sun and then you can, no, yeah. Yes, Pecharunt does beat Zarude. Anyway, a lot of things probably do. But it does have recover though, so I've seen a lot of stall teams with this thing. This is the cancer that I ran. With Malignant Chain. I didn't run it with Poison Gas. What did I run? Was it Recover as well? It wasn't with Acid Spray. That is something else you can do. Malignant Chain. I think I ran Shadow Ball because it's just dual stab or like double, like the different stabs. Protect. And then what else did I have on there? Was it Curse? I did have Curse on there. And then I had the Black Sludge. Yeah, that was a really fun. That's actually the best performing video we've ever had on the channel. So if you haven't seen it, just add to it. It was a lot of fun to use. I think we won one and lost one. We only got 2 videos off in 45 minutes. That's how fun this team was to run. You just, and then Pollen Puff, and then Tinglu, and Yondozo, and blah, blah, blah. It was, what was the, let me see if I remember. Ho-Oh was the rest of the team. And then the last one, oh yeah, it was Screamtail. Just in case you want to be Encore disabled. This team was so annoying. Go try it. I still have the rental code available. This team was actually so bananas. But yeah, where do we put Pecharunt? We put it in the B tier just because if you're not ready for this, you just lose to it. If you're not ready for stall, you just lose. So I'm going to put it in B. So So I know I've seen a lot of tier lists out there, and I'm thankful that everybody did them. I feel like everybody did them so fast because everybody wanted to see what do we do with these things. Like, they're brand new. What do we do? They announced this Reg J thing. We have these mythicals for like one of the first times ever. I think Series 13 for Sword and Shield had it. And even then, people are like, like, what do we do with this? Let's just play. I think that's when Spike Myth Cup came out, actually, that format that was fan made. Everyone's just like, they didn't give us the format we wanted, so we're just going to make our own with the community, which was really cool. So, but I feel like people are embracing this a little bit more. Like, I know Reg H is going on right now, but there's not a lot of places to play it. I guess like Victory Road tournaments and stuff like that. I know there's the Global Challenge or the Grand Challenge. I forget what they call it nowadays. So you can still play Reg H, and people want to see Reg H content, but unfortunately there's just no ladder for it unless it's on Showdown, but who plays on Showdown? So I guess that's it. So comment down below what you guys think. If you disagree with me, let me know. We can start a discussion about it. Maybe everybody can fight with each other. That's fine too. But this is what I think. I think that the way I value things is different than the way you value things, other YouTubers value things. But I think we can all learn from each other just to kind of see, like, you know what? I think collectively most people would say this, but hey, somebody might say, you know what? Deoxys defense, there is a way you can run it. Here's how. And then I can feature it. It'd be really cool. But in my experience, this is what I've seen so far. I might break this up a little bit based on how I play them, just because it's fun. I might lose a bit. I might win a bit. And I might change this around a little bit. Maybe I can do another tier list near the end, when Reg J is about to end. And because I don't think we're going to get this back for another 3 years. Not going to lie. So enjoy it while we got it. So if you stuck around, thank you very, very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. This is going to be a lot of fun. So September 1st, which is Monday, actually. So that is when the official Battle Stadium Doubles Reg J ladder starts. And I will be laddering and making a video on it as well. Maybe a few of them. And I will be doing ranked ladder moving forward. We've had to deal with the crappy casual ladder up until now. So I'm very thankful that we actually get wins and losses recorded now. Just so we can mess around with some weird teams and actually see. It's like, I'm not going to hide my record. I know a lot of people, what they do is they hide their record. They'll just kind of cut to the beginning. Meanwhile, they've lost like so many games and they only keep the wins in. I get it. I see the appeal. I understand. But I will make it apparent what our win and loss record is, just so you guys can see that you can win with off meta. You can win with your favorites and build around it, which I will show you guys how to do. And if you haven't learned how I'm kind of developing these teams that we are winning with the stuff that's fun, watch some more. And then we'll learn together. Like, I'll learn stuff from you guys. You learn stuff from me. And let's have some fun playing the game again. The game gets so serious sometimes if you go to tournaments and stuff like that. Like, we're going to have some fun. We're going to have some fun. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Click like if you liked it. Click subscribe if you really liked it. And I'll see you guys on the online ladder. Peace.